Genevieve from Fairbank College taking out.
I have been skiing at Mount Hotham since I could walk. It's been a home to me. I know all the runs, I know all the secret trails, and I know where my little friend Pygmy possums hide. Hi, I am Genevieve, and this video is about the mountain pygmy possum, the Bogong moth, and the Bogong moth sighting I made at the Mornington Peninsula. Bogong moths are this little moth that is about 2 or 3 centimeters in height and about half a centimeter or 1 centimeter in length. They're quite furry and fluffy on their body, and their wings are about half a centimeter-ish, bit less. And they have this jelly bean shape on the bottom, and then near the top there's like this circle. On the side of the wing they've got this black line. So they have a very distinct figure for them. The Bogong moth starts its journey in Queensland, then makes its way over the Murray-Darling Basin across the east coast of Australia to the Victorian Alps and Snowy Mountains. When it arrives at the mountains, it hibernates in caves for around 4 months, feeding the mountain pygmy possum and other native species. After that 4 months is over, it makes its way all the way back to Queensland to breed. The journey the Bogong moth takes to Queensland all the way to the mountains is around 1,000 kilometres. If we compare their size to a human size, it's humans running around the earth twice. It's extraordinary how such a small moth can make such a big journey and not get lost in the process. On the Bogong moth's migration, they feed several animals such as snapper, native birds, lizards, and rats. As they make their way to the mountains, they feed the mountain pygmy possum, which I'll get to next. The mountain pygmy possum was thought to be an extinct species. Until 1966, they found a mother with babies in its pouch in a Hotham ski lodge. Everyone thought, yay, they're back, but then slowly realized that they were going to die because the babies in the mother's pouch were starving. Scientists brought it in and did research about why they were starving. They found out that the Bogong moth didn't make it to the mountains that year, and only a few had survived. They also found out that the populations of other animals went down that year as well. They then realized the Bogong moth was the key. Without the Bogong moth, there'll be a mass extinction through all the animals that it feeds on its migration. My family and I went to the Mornington Peninsula for a holiday. For a few days, the weather was really nice, so we decided to go down to the beach. But as my dad was putting his shoe on, he saw a moth was in there. When I looked at the moth, I found there was a jelly bean shape on the bottom of its wing and then a circle on the top. I had then a black line on the side of its wing. That's when I realized it was a Bogong moth. My family and I then took a photo of it and uploaded it to the moth tracker straight away. As we went to the beach and I crossed over my windowsill, I found something on my windowsill. Another Bogong moth. That's when a thought hit my brain. The Bogong moths, they were here. When we came back to the beach and had dinner at around 6, I knew the Bogong moths were active near 6 and 7 p.m. So I got my iPad out, sat outside, and videoed my sightings. As I videoed the Bogong moths buzzing around, I noticed that the birds were chirping very loudly. They were crossing tree to tree and looked very focused. I also saw that a possum had come up from a tree to feast on these moths as well. That's when I saw it with my very own eyes, how important these Bogong moths are to the ecosystem. As the action died down, I made my way back inside the house. But then I saw something on the windowsill, a Bogong moth. The Bogong moth had lost fur on its back and had lost a back leg. I wasn't sure that this Bogong moth could survive, but I took it in and made a moth hospital. My mum brought back a Bogong moth she found on the beach to add to the moth hospital. But as I looked at the moth that my mum brought back, I saw that it had already died and there was no way of saving it. But the one I saw on the windowsill could be saved. My goal was to get the moth fully recovered so it could migrate to the mountains with its group. So basically I fed it a lot of honey, and then I thought it was done, but then I kept sucking on it. And then its kind of legs got in the honey, and then it got really stuck to the ground. So then I had to slowly move the legs away, then scrape the honey off the table. And now I think it's done with honey. But it drinks the honey out of that little string thing at the bottom of its mouth. I'm not sure what it's called, but
it's like a straw.
It's like a butterfly. And it's really cute. But it's really weak and it's lost its back leg, so it can't move. So it's always on a tilt. So I think
so one of the back legs and lost one of the antennas?
Yeah, so I'm going to find out if it can grow back.
Okay.
Slurping it up. So funny. Oh, it's like...
Imagine if it's just trying to get out.
Imagine if it's stuck in the honey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's eating it. Well, I think it is eating it. It's like having it. It's going go go go. I'm gonna type up a Bogong moth.
No, it really likes it. Look.
I got it one of these just in case. It's definitely eating it. Go go go. It's definitely eating it. But it feel hidden. So this is the moth 2 weeks later at my house, my normal house. And as you can see, it's still on its tilt. It's moving its wings just a little bit. But it's basically sleeping right now because it's nocturnal and it's daytime. And last night I did see it flying around a bit. So it has recovered really well. I gave it some honey. And yeah, I'm really happy that we gave it a second chance. And I think it's going to make it. After I found the hurt one on the windowsill, I saw my cat running around and this moth flying away from it. There was a Bogong moth in our house. The Bogong moth was so fast and we couldn't catch it. And then we caught it. But then we tried to transfer it into a container and it flew away. We then turned all the lights off in the house and turned on the light in my room because it was a fluoro light and the Bogong moth was attracted to that light. Then we saw it, the Bogong moth in my room. We caught it again in the cup and this time my dad transferred it into a container. It was really cool seeing a healthy Bogong moth in real life. We then uploaded this moth to the tracker as well and said that there were more Bogong moths in the area. This whole experience made me more interested in the Bogong moth, and I can't believe how extraordinary they truly are. But unfortunately, in recent years, the Bogong moth populations have been declining severely. I spoke with a very knowledgeable, lovely expert called Monica, who provided me with tons of useful information. Her family have been studying the moth for over 50 years. Here is the information she provided me with. In 2015, there were so many moths, like heaps. The caves were so crowded. And then, in 2017, there was a severe drought. that severely impacted on the Bogong moth populations. In 2018, there was only a handful of moths. And in 2019, there were no Bogong moths. These moths are meant to be in groups of billions, 4 billion, but have gone down to a handful at times. Since then, the Bogong moth populations have always been on the brink of extinction, but we can still take action. The reasons that the Bogong moth populations have been declining is due to farming practices, light pollution, and droughts. Farming practices impact the Bogong moth severely because farmers have grown their farms so incredibly long that they have cut out a lot of native plants and trees in the Murray-Darling Basin where their farms are. But the Bogong moth lays their eggs in the Murray-Darling Basin as well. When the Bogong moth comes out of its egg as a larvae, they need to feast on these native plants in order to grow their wings and make their 1,000-kilometre journey possible. But because these farms have grown so long, the Bogong moth can't find any native plants to eat. When they grow their wings and take flight, they fly over the Murray-Darling Basin. While they are flying over the Murray-Darling Basin, they hunt for food. #native trees and plants. But these plants are not accessible because the farmers have cut them down for their farm. From what I can tell, farmers need to take action now by clearing an area on their farm, on one of the farm boundaries, or even in the middle of the farm, to plant native plants and trees so the Bogong moth can stop and have a little buffet as it makes its 1,000-kilometre journey. Another problem that impacts the Bogong moth is light pollution. If you have any unnecessary light outside, please switch it off. This will help the Bogong moth so much because the Bogong moth uses the stars and a magnetic field to navigate its way to the mountains and back. Light pollution disrupts this because they kind of look like stars, not gonna lie, and this confuses the Bogong moth. So if you can switch any light off, please do. If you agree with these points, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions, write it in the comments. Thank you.